Lady Diana Frances Spencer was born on July 1st, 1961, at Park House near Sandringham in Norfolk, as the youngest daughter of the late Earl Spencer and the late Honourable Mrs. Shand Kyde, daughter of the fourth Baron Fermy.
At the age of 7, her parents chose to separate as the result of her mother having an affair with a married man. Along with her father and her two older sisters, Lady Jane and Sarah, and the younger brother Charles, Lady Diana moved to the Spencer seat at Althorpe in Northern Hampshire in 1975. Lady Diana was first educated at Riddlesworth Hall in Norfolk.
Diana's entire childhood was eclipsed by her parents' separation, but nevertheless she was a good student at school. She enjoyed music and dancing and domestic science. While she was at school, she acquired the award for being the most helpful classmate to her fellow students.
Diana then went to finish school in Rougemont, Switzerland, and later moved to London.
Naturally, Diana loved children, but she also wanted to help people, and that was something that she looked for in an employment.
After moving to London, she worked as a nanny for an American couple and then worked as a kindergarten teacher at the Young England School in Pimlico. Everything changed. It was announced from Buckingham Palace that the 32-year-old Charles, Prince of Wales, had proposed to the 19-year-old Lady Diana Spencer.
As neighbors at Sandringham until 1975, our families had known each other for a very long time. Diana brought some real youth into the royal family.
And I suppose in love. Of course. Whatever in love means.
No bride-to-be ever wants to hear such a thing. It's horrific. There may have been a sign that perhaps Charles wasn't in love with Diana as much as she was with him.
6 months later, on July 29, 1981, the couple married in a ceremony at St. Paul's Cathedral with a reception held at Buckingham Palace. 750 million people tuned in for the wedding, making it the most watched event of the 20th century.
It looked like on the outside it was ultimate love story because she was becoming a princess. The royal family stopped being this old stuffy group of people, and suddenly they had this gorgeous lady in their presence.
But as she walked down the aisle, a very grim fairy tale was in the works.
Secretly, she was terrified. She knew the eyes of the world were on her and that she had to perform to the best of her ability. She felt overwhelmed. People were cursing at her, calling her mom, and she was suffering from bulimia, an eating disorder. She was startled like a deer caught in headlights, thrown in at the deep end.
The Prince and Princess of Wales flew to Gibraltar to spend part of their honeymoon on a 12-day Mediterranean cruise on board the royal yacht HMS Britannia.
Diana didn't even get to enjoy her honeymoon. The entire time she had to spend it entertaining dignitaries.
At the end of the cruise, they flew back to Balmoral Castle, where they got to know each other better. Eventually, romance blossomed.
Charles was very happy. They even wrote love letters to each other. The marriage looked fine.
The Prince and Princess of Wales made their home at Highgrove House in Gloucestershire and also shared an apartment at Kensington Palace. Princess Diana gave birth to a boy, Prince William Arthur Philip Louis David, at St. Mary's Hospital.
The birth of William made the country very happy because, after all, we had the heir to the throne. Diana put her foot down and told the royals that she was going to do things her way, especially when it came to raising her children. Traditionally, most royals gave birth in palaces, but Diana was determined to be like everyone else and gave birth in a hospital.
Secretly, things were taking a devastating turn.
After the birth of William in 1982, Diana was suffering from postpartum depression, from bulimia, and a failed suicide attempt. She declared that her son was her only joy in life, but kept smiling because she didn't want to disappoint the public.
Diana gave birth to another boy, Prince Henry Charles Albert David.
Harry's birth was a happy time for the country. We wanted to see Charles and Diana produce children. However, his red hair meant that he was a Spencer, and this angered Charles, who took one look at him and then went out to the opera. The princess pinpointed this as the exact moment she knew her marriage was over.
Another battle that Diana won was that her children were educated in public schools.
She wanted them to go out and make friends and expose them to the problems that troubled society so that they could live normal lives. One such incident happened at a burger restaurant where Diana went with the boys. The manager asked, "Why don't I open up the private terrace?" Naturally, Diana said, well, why don't you open it up for everyone instead of just me?
And above all, both parents took great measure to make sure both boys were treated equally, even though William would become king one day.
Princess Diana made her first official visit to the U.S. Her popularity skyrocketed. Diana truly became a foothold in America, and the world was mesmerized.
Quite frankly, Charles was becoming very upset. He was born into the royal family, born to be king, and yet he couldn't understand why his wife was becoming more popular than him.
A scandalous affair.
She described her marriage as torture after a tape was released of an intimate conversation between her and longtime friend James Gilby. A similar tape surfaced a few months later of Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles.
It was the end of the fairy tale when it was announced from Buckingham Palace that the Prince and Princess of Wales agreed to split.
The split devastated many, but Charles and Diana continued to be united in the upbringing of their children. Diana continued to be regarded as a member of the royal family and continued to live at Kensington Palace.
The years that followed were full of shocking secrets. Diana gave an interview filled with private secrets. She admitted depression, eating disorders, her own affair with James Hewitt, and her suspicion that Charles was having an affair as early as 4 years into their marriage. The divorce was finalized. Most disturbingly, she admitted that she felt the Prince of Wales was not fit to be king. Diana would therefore lose the title of Her Royal Highness and simply be known as Diana, Princess of Wales.
Things were getting uglier and uglier, and Diana had sent shockwaves throughout the world. Diana had pretty much violated everything that the royal family stood for.
Diana would not stop, and the princess was acclaimed for her numerous bouts of charity work. During her marriage, the princess was head of over 100 charities. The princess did much to publicize work on the disabled, the homeless, and people with HIV and AIDS.
People would usually be afraid to go up and touch these infected children, but Diana wasn't.
People were even weary of her after she came back home.
Her last passionate campaign was the International Campaign to Ban Landmines, which went on to win the Nobel Peace Prize in 1997 after her death. She was critical of the monarchy, not because she hated male-dominated society, but she felt that it was really patriarchy-dominated and that it was too confining and restrictive.
Diana began a relationship with Egyptian millionaire Dodi Al-Fayed.
A bolder side of Diana came out after the divorce. Diana and Dodi had been linked romantically due to their father's strong friendship.
They set off on a vacation to Paris that ended in tragedy. The car in which the princess was traveling was involved in a high-speed automobile crash in the Place d'Alma underpass before midnight.
Inside the tunnel, the car struck a concrete divider and did a full 360 before spinning around and doing another 180 degrees.
The driver was killed instantly. His entire body weight was slumped over and honking the horn. Mr. Al-Fayed was beyond help, but Diana and her bodyguard were clinging on.
Diana was in grave condition. She was suffering from chest injuries, a massive wound to the left lung, numerous broken bones, and internal bleeding. After 2 hours of extensive surgery, which included opening up her chest, the princess was declared dead at 4 a.m. Paris time.
The balls, the costumes, the jewels, everything was truly over. It was just as if there had been a presidential assassination.
The Prince of Wales and her elder sisters retrieved the princess's body. Over 1 million people crowded the streets to say goodbye.
Flowers and cards filled with messages that lined the Buckingham Palace. People were crying in the streets. And Charles, Harry, and William walked behind her coffin. Unlike her wedding, all you could hear were the clip-clop of horses walking by.
Princess Diana wasn't just a princess, but an ordinary woman. She did many wonderful things for the monarchy. She really opened your eyes to people who were really suffering, and yet she was just like any other woman.
She cared about her looks, her weight, and any other normal problems women would care about. Diana taught us a new way to be British.
The Queen broadcasted a speech live at Buckingham Palace to address the tragedy.
It was comforting to know that the royal family actually cared, and when you saw the princess walking behind her coffin, it was really quite sad. Prince Harry actually wrote a card on it titled Mommy. She put it on top of the coffin, and no one knows what was in that card. It's between Harry and his mother. But you really understood the real human tragedy behind this. Not only had Britain lost its pride and joy, but there were these two young boys without a mother.
Although Diana is gone, her legacy still lives on.
The Princess of Wales Memorial Fund was created in her honor, and it funds organizations around the world who are dedicated to supporting troubling causes across society. Prince William has funded many charities in Africa and continues to work closely with the homeless and HIV infected.
Prince Harry created his own charity, Sentinel, which provides help with impoverished children in Lesotho. Harry has also been interested in helping out wounded war veterans ever since he served in Afghanistan.
Diana was many things, and so ends the life of love, birth, suffering, luxury, scandal, and tragedy. So ends the life of Diana, the people's princess.
You're supposed to love kids.
That's intelligent.
Okay, am I done now? Did I look funny while I was talking?
No. Do I? Action. Action. Action!
Serious.
Mysterious?
Although people might think you're kinda odd.
Nice to oh.
Diana was in grave condition. I'll fix it.
But nevertheless,
Mia!
Christine!
Hi. Jenny!
No! I was having a good run.
Oh my god.
Child.
It's raining. How happy am I supposed to be?
With her, I was thinking like and being there, mysterious. Harry has also been interested in helping people.
Ooh.
Poop, Mia called.
I like some.
Sorry.
But nevertheless, she was a Sorry. This British accent is really hard.
I think we need more Will.
Okay, perfect!
Yeah, that wasn't.
She did many wonderful things. Oh, this is hilarious. I'm just being funny. Is that good enough?